Hello everyone, my name is James Suhan. I'm a graduate support engineer here at E1 Solutions. And in this video, I'm going to show you how you can utilize Popdock inside of SmartConnect with your integrations. As you can see, I just have a simple join list here that I have created in my Popdock account. And let's say I want to be able to use this in integrations, this specific list in an integration that I have in SmartConnect. So to start off, if I hop over here into SmartConnect, we're going to need to create a connection. Need a connection to create a data source create an integration. So we're going to go ahead here and create our Popdock connector. So we'll just call it Popdock, and then it'll punch in your user credentials. And then I'm just going to bump this. Just going to bump this up a little bit. Typed in my password wrong. There we go. Now we'll validate this connection. So at this step, you're going to want to be patient. As right now, SmartConnect is reaching out to Popdock to verify against all existing accounts and users within those accounts to see if the credentials provided exist somewhere within the Popdock database. Now, this can take a bit. There's a lot of databases out there. There's a lot of stuff to look through. But you just need to give it some patience, give it a little time, let it think, let it do its thing. So now we have connected successfully. So after we click OK, we're going to want to wait a little bit longer. Just because in my case with my user account, I've worked with a lot of customers. I have access to a variety of different accounts. It's going to take some time to be able to pull that list of accounts so I can select which one I want to utilize for my connector. Which for most of you, you'll only have access to one account, maybe two. Really just depends, but it should come back a lot quicker. Now in this scenario, as like I said, my user's tied to a lot of accounts, so I will be able to select any one of those. Now we have our drop down here able to be selected, and I am going to select our E1 sandbox. And now we give it a minute, let that go through, make another call, say, hey, this is the account that we want to hit with this connector. So while it's taking its time, once it's done, we'll have our connector set up, which will have full connection from my account to that environment. Anything that I have access to in that environment will be available to be used inside my data source and thus in my integrations. So once it goes ahead and confirms it, we see we have our E1 sandbox. We go ahead and save this connector. So now it'll save these credentials right here, and we should be good to go ahead and create our data source once this finishes up. So it's just taking its sweet time, establishing all the information that's needed, making sure that connection is good to go, which we saw was successful, was able to reach out using my credentials, grab my access to my Popdock account, verify exist, see all the different accessibility accounts that are there, and then we are then able to grab my E1 sandbox account, and now we're finishing up creating that connector. As you can see, there it is right down here. There's my Popdock connector, this one right here, with Popdock as its type. Now we can head over to data sources. So obviously for this, we want a data source. We want to be able to view the lists. So what we're going to do is to go to create, and we're going to go, it should be under bulk. Yep, we have bulk data sources here. So that is what it'll be for Popdock. We grab our bulk data source. So we're just going to call this test join data. For our connection, we'll pick the Popdock connection. We'll validate that connection, which could take a couple more minutes, which is just going to go through, make sure everything's good to go, everything works, and that we'll be happy. It's also going in verifying what's in there, what can we access, what can we not access, as that will all come with the rest of the information on the screen here with the connector, the company, the group, the list, and any favorites that I want to use if I want to use a favorite. Which favorite is typically recommended as you will be able to get more data to go through with a favorite, as you can set those to bring back more than the standard 100 records by default, and thus getting more records through. We are now going through and verifying our data. So we should get that back any minute now. So we can then go through and finish up the rest of our connection. So this can also be done for a variety of data sources, connectors, whatever you want. Pretty much anything your user has access to in Popdock can be used as a data source here in SmartConnect. So we've successfully connected. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my GP Gateway connector. For company, we'll do Fabricam. For our group, we will do sales. And actually, this one's unassigned, I believe. Actually, let's go ahead. Let's just double check real quick. What's our... So it is unassigned. Let's just make a quick adjustment to that. So you will want to have a group assigned to your list, or else it won't be able to be seen by SmartConnect. So let's just go down here to that test join list, and we're just going to throw this in sales for now. Simple, easy spot. So, may not show up right away. Let's see here. Let's change back to sales. Test join list. And we're just going to stick with our default view. That's all we got. We can go ahead and preview this data source. And as you can see, here is our records that come through. And then we'll just validate this. Connection was successful. And save it. And now we have a data source here inside of SmartConnect from Popdock. Let's see, where is it hiding? So let's go back up here and so let's just go. There we go. Test join data Popdock query. Now it's here as a data source. So if I want to go over and create an integration, whatever the case may be, test, data source type, bulk, data source. Gonna go through our list. And there we go. Now we have a data source set on our integration.